everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Niche Pursuits podcast. I'm your host, Spencer Hawes from nichepursuits.com. And before we jump into today's episode, I wanted to tell you a little bit about Ezoic. Ezoic is an ad platform that I have been using on my niche site project for site, and I've been very happy with it. Ezoic is a Google award-winning technology that everyone from niche website owners to major brands use to grow and monetize their websites. Ezoic is also a Google certified publishing partner. The platform leverages artificial intelligence to learn from website visitors with the goal of providing more personalized experiences that will improve on-page experiences, which is session length, while also optimizing revenue and monetization on a per visitor basis. The Ezoic platform features everything from intelligent website analytics to advanced automated visitor segmentation tools that allow publishers to improve visitor experiences and increase overall website revenue. Overall, there really are some big benefits to using Ezoic. It's more than just an ad platform, but it truly is a platform that allows publishers to implement sophisticated ad operations and monetization practices on their websites using advanced artificial intelligence. This allows publishers to manage as much or as little as they want. You simply drag and drop ad placeholders, and Ezoic will help automatically test thousands of ad partners, ad locations, ad types, and control ad density. This means Ezoic optimizes revenue and engagement for each unique visitor, maximizing the revenue publishers earn. If you want to go and check out Ezoic, you can go to nichepursuits.com/Ezoic. Again, that's nichepursuits.com/Ezoic. My guest today is Adam Preiser from WPCrafter.com. Adam is best known for his YouTube channel, WP Crafter, where he shares all kinds of WordPress tips and tutorials. In fact, Adam currently has over 121,000 YouTube subscribers and is definitely crushing it there. However, Adam has also done something that very few businesses will ever achieve. He's launched a new software product called CartFlows, and it's already on pace to do over $1 million in revenue in its very first year. So during the interview, I spent quite a bit of time asking Adam about how he came up with the idea for CartFlows, why and how he found a partner, and how he has grown this WordPress plugin business so quickly. CartFlows is a sales funnel builder for WordPress. You can build beautiful sales pages and one-click upsells and much more. If you want to check out CartFlows, you can go to nichepursuits.com/CartFlows. Overall, I hope you enjoyed the interview with Adam. Hey, Adam, welcome to the Niche Pursuits podcast.
Thanks for having me. I'm happy to spend this Friday with you.
Absolutely. What better way to spend the start of a weekend chatting about online business, right?
Of course. Well, you know, when you have an online business, it's 24/7 on your mind. It's not a 9-to-5 thing where you can kind of compartmentalize it and separate it from your personal life.
That is true. That is true. That can be good and bad. Right? Because you're allowed to do it whenever you want, but sometimes you're doing it all the time.
Exactly. One tip, I know it's a little too early. You were just starting this off, but turn off your phone notifications, and then that's how you do it.
Yes. Good tip. Definitely. Have some balance in your life, right? Spend some time with family, that sort of thing. Let's jump into, I want to introduce you to the audience here, get a little bit of your background, and then, of course, we're going to talk about what you're doing now. But before you ever jumped onto YouTube and recorded a video, and before you were over at WPCrafter.com, what was your business or work experience like? What were you doing?
Well, I've always been very entrepreneurial. I was one of those naturally entrepreneurial people. Before that was even like one of those in words, now, everyone wants to be an entrepreneur. I was like 15 and I was making money. Yeah. So I've always had a business. I've always had a drive for business, and I had a lot of different offline businesses. So kind of the genesis is before I started making content and putting it on YouTube, I had a very large business. I had a very large office bill. I had a very large staff bill for staff and all the employees, and everything that comes with. It was actually kind of a technology-driven business that was more kind of telemarketing related. So I've always liked technology, and it was a lot of fun. I built this amazing technology we were making like 26,000 phone calls a day. I mean, we were making lots of phone calls. It was a sales organization, and it did awesome. But we had to shut it down because some laws changed. And I found myself in 2011 or so, late 2010, with good amount of money. I don't have to work. I've got a young child at home, so I can enjoy watching him grow up. But there's always that next chapter in your life. And for me, after taking a kind of like a little semi-retirement, that next chapter ended up just kind of randomly happening one day when I threw up a video on YouTube.
Yeah. So tell me about the genesis of that. I mean, why did you randomly one day say, well, I'm going to record a video, I'm going to put it on YouTube? Yeah. Where does that idea come from?
That's actually a fantastic question because I've always been one of those people where I can look at someone that's further ahead than me or doing something that I'm interested in doing, and maybe they're successful at it and there's things that come along with it. And I've always been that guy that looks at them and says, I could try to do the same thing. That's actually how that prior business I was talking about happened as well. So I thought, I enjoy YouTube. I see people making videos on YouTube, and, I'm going to try this as well. And I had dabbled a little bit with it. Just, I bought some really neat glasses off Amazon for reducing the glare of a monitor screen. And it really made working on a computer easier for me. So I made a review video on that, and I'm making a couple dollars. But what ended up happening was a product had come out at the time, and you probably actually are also familiar with this product because you have an internet marketing background. It was Optimize Press 2, and that came out, and I was like excited about this thing. Back then, that was some really exciting stuff, and I bought it the date, like the hour it came out, I bought it, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to make some videos on this. I'm sure people are going to want to see how this thing works, and I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And I did that, and with zero effort other than the creation of the video, people started finding this just all organic. And that's when I really started to see, and people started to purchase it through a link that I had. That was like my first kind of step into any kind of affiliate marketing. And I thought, wow, anyone really can do this. Yeah. Anyone really can do this. And that's when my eyes kind of opened up.
So very interesting. So to kind of, again, take it back to either that first video or that genesis, it sounds like you had just seen other people generally are doing well on YouTube. I'm going to try and replicate some of that success. Were some of your early videos not real focused? Were they just kind of general review any product? You mentioned glasses, you mentioned other things. I know, now you're very much focused on, WordPress in particular, but what was the strategy early on, or were you just kind of throwing a lot of things against the wall?
Yeah, well, what happened was, and that's a great question. What happened was when I put up that video on I was actually 5 videos on Optimize Press. That was actually on a different YouTube channel. And I thought, you know what, I could make videos about all this cool technology for building websites. And WordPress was really taking off because of a plugin, the ability to have plugins that would add functionality to it. So it opened up this whole world with WordPress of making membership websites, sales pages, all kinds of things like that. So that's when I thought, you know what, I am going to make a channel that's specifically about WordPress. And what ended up happening was there wasn't a lot of strategy other than in the beginning, other than each video would be about WordPress. Uh-huh. And I actually just by mistake started off with those topics that a beginner or someone new to WordPress or someone trying to figure something out regarding it would be searching for naturally and organically. And I threw up a few videos. And it was just mainly stuff that I was just personally and genuinely interested in myself. And I figure out something cool. Oh, I'm going to make a video on it. This is really cool. But it really wasn't until 2015. It was the summer of 2015. I started the WP Crafter YouTube channel in 2014. It was like early 2014. And I hadn't paid attention to the performance of the videos and the growth of the channel. So there wasn't a lot, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm on vacation. It's 2015. I'm with my wife. We're in Las Vegas, chilling out at the Red Rock. Great place to take kids because the pool's awesome. And I'm sitting there at the pool and I'm like, I wonder how this YouTube channel thing's doing. And I pulled it up and I was astonished that there was subscribers on the channel. There was regular views, thousands of views already on the channel each month. And I wasn't even paying attention to it. I was not paying attention to it. I wasn't optimizing it. I didn't have a graphic designer for the graphics. I wasn't paying attention. And then I turned to my wife and I said, you know what, honey, there might be something here with this YouTube thing. Maybe I'll take it serious now. And that's actually when I started to get a little strategic and started to take it serious.
That's pretty cool. It's interesting because that is a similar path that I followed with some of my most successful businesses. Is I've kind of started something and then you notice how well they start doing without a lot of promotion or effort. Those tend to be the things that if you go back and put in the right amount of effort and energy, that are really going to be the things that take off. It's almost like they start on their own. So it's interesting to hear that, you know, your YouTube channel, at least that segment of your YouTube channel, when you start focusing on WordPress, you know, with the WP Crafter brand, that started to take off. I do want to ask you a few more YouTube questions here in a second, but first,
sure.
Can you just give us an overview of your entire business and how things are going there? I mean, you've got YouTube, you got WP Crafter, but you've also got CartFlows and other things going on. What's everything that you're involved with right now?
Yeah, so everything started with the YouTube channel. And, you know, when you start to get success, especially that type of success, because you're really growing an audience. And because you grow an audience and they trust you, and maybe you might bring a product to them or something like that, then you start building relationships with people that are making those products and making sure that they're making what you know that people already want. So through the YouTube channel, I learned to kind of get a really good sense for what people want. And it's actually aligned with what I want. And so everything kind of started there. But I always knew that I would get into products myself. But I'm not a developer. I have no interest in developing, but I know what people want, right. And I know how people want it to work in order to enjoy it. I really am in touch with that. So I always knew I'd get into products, but for me, it was about building the right relationships with the right people and testing people over a extended period of time before I did that. And so that actually ended up happening. Built a relationship with a founder of a company called Brainstorm Force, and we built our friendship over 2 years. And he's in India, so like we had meetings together. He came out here and all of that. And through that relationship, we ended up partnering up to start releasing software products of our own, which were kind of brainchilds out of my mind. And one of those products is CartFlows. So CartFlows is a WordPress product that enables you to create all the same type of features you'd want in any kind of sales funnel builder, but you're able to do it in WordPress with your page building tool, and you get all the upsells and the order bumps and all that. It was one of those products that I'm surprised someone didn't come out with sooner. Mm-hmm. So there's also a cart abandonment solution that we recently released. So it's a second plugin we've already released.
Okay.
And there's a couple other plugins that are going to be coming out, and there's a couple other website-related services that are going to be coming out as well. So I'm testing lots of different things where that could just go to benefit the audience and the people that have trusted in me. So yeah, I've got a lot going on for sure.
Yeah. What's the name of the cart abandonment plugin?
So what's awesome is it's a free cart abandonment solution.
Okay.
And so if you go to inside your WordPress, inside of your WordPress website, you go to plugins, add new, and just do a search for cart abandonment. And it's going to be the first one that comes out. It's a cart abandonment recovery. And it works with WooCommerce. It's completely free. And that's the thing that I love about what I've been able to accomplish. Now I can release amazing free stuff for people that they can benefit from. We released it 2 months ago, and it's already active on 8,000 websites that are making money. And one of my favorite videos I made about a month and a half ago was I just showed the numbers. I ran it on a website, and in a month, it allowed me to make 1,700 additional dollars. And for people that aren't familiar with cart abandonment, that's when someone goes to your checkout form, maybe they put their email in and then they get distracted. And there's so many things you could get distracted by, right? Especially you got kids. I got kids. Yeah. They distract you. I got a dog. If he barks, I'm distracted and you forget all about it. Well, what this does is it captures that and it automates sending them reminder emails. And you can also send a discount. So here's you're familiar with cart abandonment. It's completely free and it works with WooCommerce.
Okay. No, that's awesome. I have a lot of questions surrounding the software business, and we are going to get to that. I like to give people a sense of how well your business is doing. People, of course, love to hear income numbers if you're willing to share those, but any sort of success numbers, whether that's traffic or downloads or et cetera. And at least in my simple mind, I sort of am viewing your business. You've got the WP Crafter and the YouTube brand that's obviously making money, and then also CartFlows in the software business is the other piece of this. Can you give us an idea of the kind of those two pieces of business and the success there?
Absolutely. So in February of 2019, the WP Crafter YouTube channel passed 100,000 subscribers. And today it's at 100. It's about 1,382 because I have this little metric thing that tells me exactly what it is. That keeps me going. And that's growing by 4,000 to 5,000 new subscribers per month, all organic.
Awesome.
So the growth is there. The growth is increasing, and the channel videos on the channel are viewed millions of times per year. So there's a big impact that's going on there. Now, one of the main revenue drivers of WP Crafter is there's some affiliate marketing that happens there, of course, through recommendations. So if I make a tutorial about how to make a website, we're going to, first sign up at SiteGround or Cloudways. And we might need a page building tool. We might not, but usually everything else is kept free. So there's definitely there's a good amount of revenue being generated there. That's one number that I won't disclose. But let's just say let's just say it's a gradual thing. But then you reach this point where I'll get specific on CartFlows. It's a gradual thing, and it just at some point something just switches, and then it just keeps going up. And I remember let's just say it's going really good. Okay, let's leave it at that. Now,
fair enough.
The software, fair enough. The software side of things is going unbelievably well. And so we were talking earlier, and you made the point of it's usually the businesses that do the best are the ones that you put out there, and then it just takes off on its own without having you put that ton of effort into it. And that's certainly CartFlows. It was released in November, which I never recommend releasing a new software on Black Friday weekend. That was a mistake. But anyways, we released it in November of 2018. So it hasn't even been a year, and it's already running on almost 20,000 websites, which is really huge because it's a niche of a niche, right? And there's no Facebook ads going on or any ads. It's just been a few videos on my YouTube channel, and the rest of the growth has been organic. And so out of that, I will share some revenue numbers, which is fine. Okay. So CartFlows in its first year will do 7 figures of revenue. Now, obviously, as a business owner, and I'm sure many people in the audience that might be listening to this know, just because your company makes $1 million or $2 million doesn't mean you're like, hanging out at the beach every day. You know what I mean? You've got a lot of expenses.
Right.
You've got development expenses and all that kind of stuff. So I always like to say that, because I don't want someone thinking I've just put $1 million in my bank account. I'm building something. We are building an amazing software product for people that has an amazing future ahead of it. But the sales have just been shockingly awesome. Going into it with very low expectations, you know what I mean? But a hope and a prayer. And but then it's really made. I don't actually care about the money that the product makes. It's about our customers and the amazing success that they're able to have through this product, and that's what matters most to me. The impact that it's having for them.
Congrats on the success, first of all. I mean, being able to build a software product or any business that's going to make 7 figures in year one is just unbelievable. I don't remember where I was reading this, but it's only something like 4 or 5% of all companies ever even hit $1 million in revenue over their, in a year ever. So just hitting $1 million in revenue already puts you in the top, 95% of all businesses. So that's amazing. Great job there. Let's stick with CartFlows here a little bit, because I want to dive into some of that success. Can you share the origin story? Why did you come up with the idea for CartFlows? I know you've got a partner there, but yeah, what was the genesis of the idea?
Yeah, so that was, I always knew, like I said earlier, I always knew I'd get into products. I didn't know what product it would be. And as I sell training courses, and I had always loved some of the features you could get on some of these software as a service based platforms. Let's just say ClickFunnels, for example, some of the features, but I didn't ever like ClickFunnels. It's not a money thing, right? It's not that it's $300 a month and CartFlows is $300 a year. It's not that, but I don't want to have to learn another system and now have 2 separate systems and then have to go through linking it all together. And with WordPress, we've always had this great e-commerce platform, WooCommerce, and it gets better after each release, faster and all that. And I thought, why hasn't someone really built a sales funnel building tool, a full-featured sales funnel building tool for WordPress that would leverage WooCommerce? And I was sitting down in October of 2017 with my friend Sujay, and he was stopping in town here in Los Angeles, heading out to Cabo for a convention. And we're sitting in Fleming's, that's a nice steakhouse, and we're sitting there. And I said, this is a big need. This is a big need. I feel it. I don't have the proof of it. I don't have the proof, right? Even when you look at the numbers that ClickFunnels has, they don't have that many customers. They have maybe 70,000 customers, and they've been going at this thing for almost 7 years.
Yeah.
But I really believed that with WordPress, we have these amazing page building tools that are way better than ClickFunnels. If we could just tell people that are using WordPress, hey, you can use that tool that you already love using, and you can get the upsells, the order bumps, and we're going to take this way further than anything ClickFunnels or any of those tools will ever be able to do. I think people will say yes to that. Anyways, we decided, and that was the birth of this product. Obviously, we didn't have a name yet. And then what we did was we spent 6 months evaluating every single tool on the market, everything that might have been WordPress related or software as a service. We bought everything, tested everything, and I'm good at kind of grasping what's easy to use and what's not easy to use. And through that process, it really formed how we wanted our product to work, because we identified the strengths and the weaknesses of all these other tools out there. And then it was just literally 6 months of hard work to get this thing ready to go. And the Monday before Black Friday, Never do this, anyone. Monday before Black Friday, we released it. And the reason you never want to do that is you have a new product and people will want to support you, but they want to buy everything else with their limited budgets. And so if it's like, yeah, so some people were not happy with that. Anyways, but that's how CartFlows started. But I took 2 years to get to know Sujay, who's my partner on this product, and he is. I'm sure folks in the audience might not know who he is. He has a company called Brainstorm Force, and they have several WordPress products, and they happen to have the fastest growing in the WordPress theme on the market today. And it was a theme that I had a lot to play with on it before it came out through testing, and a lot of my ideas went into it. It's called the Astra theme. So if you go to WordPress, if you're in your WordPress site and you go to themes, add new, and click on popular, there his is at the top of the list, this Astra theme. So through the 2 years of working together on that project, I knew he'd be the perfect partner. We already had the trust. We'd already started to get to know each other's families.
Yeah, and so I assume Sujay is a developer, and did he do all the development, or does he have a team with him that helped develop as well?
Yeah, well, I think Sujay might have been a developer at one point, but today he's an incredible business leader. So his company, Brainstorm Force, which CartFlows, I've partnered with him and his business for CartFlows. They have nearly 70 developers. I can't reveal their revenue numbers, but let's just say they're one of the heaviest hitters when it comes to WordPress. They're the people that everyone is following. Everyone's looking at how they do things and trying to do it the same exact way. One of the innovators in it. So he's a business leader today of building teams, mentoring teams, and developing them to be able to produce these amazing products. I think they have like maybe 30 different products right now.
Very cool.
So the thing is I'm not a good manager of people. So I needed to partner with someone that could be a great manager of people, also have a very savvy business mind, and be able to build the team that will end up building the product. And so it's not like a contract developer or something like that.
Yeah, so this is an interesting point that I wanted to ask directly. I mean, you've kind of answered here, but I'll ask again is, why did you decide to have a partner? Just to give you or to remind listeners about my background, I'm not a developer. I've built, Longtail Pro. I recently launched Leak Whisper. I've got Table Labs, and done another WordPress plugin as well. And I've never partnered with anybody. I've always just hired developers to build it for me. So I've always owned 100% of the company. So why didn't you just hire Sujay's company to build it for you? Or why didn't you just have a contract developer as opposed to partnering? So genuine question there.
That's a great question, and I'll answer in the most upfront and transparent way possible. The thought actually never crossed my mind to be the one spearheading this solo through hiring developers, and I think I'll tell you why. The cost of creating software, the actual cost isn't like so significant. I mean, you do spend a lot of money, but for someone like me, I have a much greater opportunity cost. And especially with CartFlows, the great cost of CartFlows being created for me was my opportunity cost, my time being spent on something else than I could spend on, say, my YouTube channel, creating content there and things of that nature. So everything carries an opportunity cost. But I think I wanted to share the weight and the burden of it because CartFlows is a involved product, meaning we are dealing with payment gateways. We're dealing with some complex stuff.
For sure.
Not anyone can just pull this off. You really have to have the massive expertise. And also a side benefit of having done this with Sujay was we got to tap into all of the assets and the technology that his company has already created. So, for example, I'll give you an example. His his theme, the Astro theme, the reason why that is so successful is because he created this technology to, with just like 2 or 3 mouse clicks, have a fully designed website, and they've got like over 100 of them. So some people might see this as kind of like a demo site or whatever, but it's much more than that. So early on, with CartFlows, I wanted it to be one click for a sales funnel. So you could go there, you could see all our sales funnels, just click on a button, it's in there, it's all assembled, it's all ready to go. We got to, instead of building that from scratch, we got to leverage his team and their assets and their intellectual property. So we were able to build what we built a lot quicker than anyone else could have.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's also a marriage of businesses. So he has already hundreds of thousands of customers. Mm-hmm. So, we get to tap in that to bring in revenue, as well as the things that I'm doing to bring in sales and new customers.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, certainly, I don't think it was the wrong decision to partner with Sujay, specifically for the reasons that you mentioned, right? The technology, the obviously the business savvy experience, management experience, and then his audience as well with his products. A lot of huge advantages that he brings to the table. So just interesting perspective in that it had never crossed my mind to try and partner with somebody, and it had never crossed your mind not to partner with somebody. That's just very, very interesting. I had never considered partnering, but
well, and of course, everybody has different skills.
Yeah.
So for me, I'll be very transparent. I know what I'm good at, and I think I know what I'm not good at, and I don't think it would have been. But I will tell you though. My family early on, because they know my background, they didn't actually want me to have a partner in anything I was doing. Because I've had people trying to acquire what I'm doing with WP Crafter before and all that, or get in on it and stuff like that. And they've been always, don't do that, Adam. You work so much better on your own. You work better on your own. Yeah. But I know when it comes to having a product, you need to be like on it with the developers, with the support, with all of that. There could be no margin of error. And I have a lot higher standards because I have an audience that trusts me. So whatever, if I did something and I was to release something, it had to deliver in every single regard.
100%. No, absolutely. It makes a lot of sense. There's certainly a lot of advantages to partnering with somebody. So thanks for talking through that with me. I think that is an interesting perspective that people can maybe, see both sides of the coin there. And if they're going to start a business, I think we've had a good discussion about it now. So I want to talk about the growth of CartFlows again a little bit. And I know you've answered this somewhat, but I am impressed with the how quickly you've been able to grow the business. Like you said, 7 figures in the first year. What do you think has been the reason? I mean, has it just been because you have such a big audience, and then Sujay has such a big audience, and you've got a great product, and that's pretty much it? Or are there any other marketing strategies you've been following here?
Yeah, well, I got to say, when it comes to CartFlows, since it's my first product, I feel like, and maybe this is how everybody feels when it's their first product, I feel like I've done everything wrong with it, not from the product itself, but from like the website, the marketing, the messaging, and all that kind of stuff. I feel like I've done everything wrong, but it still worked, right? It still ended up working. But the good thing is there's like always, in my mind, there's lots of areas to improve it. And, of course, those things are happening. So with CartFlows, part of it is the audience that I have. I have different segments of my audience. One segment of my audience likes these lifetime deals, and they want to pay $49 for something all the time. Yeah. Maybe like AppSumo style. And so CartFlows was never going to be for them. It was just never going to be for them. But the other segment of my audience, because a lot of the content on WP Crafter has been involved around using one of these page building tools to build your platform on the internet, stake your claim, build your website, build your business on the internet. And so it was easy to say, hey, guys, You like that tool called Elementor, Thrive Architect? You like that tool, Divi? Well, I built something for you. And let me show you this tool. You don't have to go through a new learning curve. It's just a copy and paste type of thing. And now you're going to be able to see yourself make more money, increase the average transaction value of all your transactions. And I think just being able to communicate and having direct lines to those deep communities. We didn't talk too much about why WP Crafter grew, but part of it was a lot of participation in online communities. So if I make a video about a tool called Elementor, which is the #1 page building tool ever created, all those people in those communities already know me because I've probably made like 100 videos on it. You know what I mean? So It's easy to say, look, guys, I made this thing for you. And I think that got us our initial growth. But then the product actually had to deliver. It had to solve a problem. It had to deliver a solution. And what ended up happening was now if anyone, say, in a Divi group or an Elementor group says, hey, how do you make sales funnels using Elementor or sales funnels using Divi? You're going to have person after person after person saying, get CartFlows, get CartFlows, get CartFlows, because it ended up being a tool that the right people that I needed to buy bought it, and they love it. And now they're out there being ambassadors. And it's not even like an affiliate type of thing. We don't actually have a ton of affiliates or power affiliates. So most of it is just organic growth, just like this. So it's really being plugged in and connected into those communities. That's another benefit of partnering, right? When you can tap in to someone that might be already connected into some of these communities, which is how I was.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you say you're connected with these communities, I mean, is there any particular place that you're beyond YouTube that you're connecting with people?
Of course. Let me be more specific there. Facebook. So the rise of the Facebook group. I actually have a Facebook group for WP Crafter. We have about 21,000 people in there.
Nice.
We created a Facebook group for CartFlows customers and users. We also, Elementor's Facebook group, which I've been very visible in for the last 3 years, has like 40-something thousand people in it today. So there's these online communities where, if I post something in there, people are going to pay attention to it. I tend to be a little opinionated, which can be a pro and a con, which is YouTube, right? If you're on YouTube, you're going to just have to get used to haters hating on you.
That's right.
So that was that. And I got to actually back it up just a little bit on strategy. One of the early decisions we decided was to have a free version of CartFlows. So CartFlows has a free version, and there's a pro version which kind of extends what the free version can do.
Yeah.
And one of the things, the reason we did that is because it's a great way to let people get introduced to your product without them risking anything, and them seeing how good it works, and then them wanting more, and then them going and making the purchase. Or it also helps in those recommendation situations. If someone says, hey, how do I make my WooCommerce checkout page look great? Just use CartFlows. It's free. And that's one of the main things that CartFlows, the free version, does. Essentially, the difference between the free version and the pro version is we kept all the money-making features into the pro version, so the order bumps and the upsells and the downsells, and manipulating the checkout fields. So when you have a free plugin, it accomplishes a lot of things for you. Number one, you can grow your user base faster. You can grow your leads faster. These are potential people that will buy your professional version. But you have to deliver something good. I mean, like the free version has to be like a worthy contender on its own. You also get free exposure from the WordPress plugin directory. So if someone types in WordPress funnel builder or something like that, we'll come up number one, and it's our listing on WordPress.org.
Yeah.
And that's also a place to foster and consolidate social proof. So when you have a plugin there that's free, your users can go there and write a review. This is all public. Your active installation numbers, all public. Your amount of downloads per day, it's all public information. You can't really fake that stuff. So what that does is it immediately provides social proof. Any of the listeners want to check out CartFlows, you can just go to your WordPress site and go plugins, add new, type it in. There it is, and you're off to the races. That's actually really good strategy for someone that's making plugins for WordPress to take advantage of that free press.
Yeah, so I'm actually on the WordPress repository right now. The directory just pulled up CartFlows, so I'm checking out the free version here. Very cool. So you did this from day one, essentially, had this free version up and running?
No, we actually held off until December. So we released the product on November 19th. We released it in the repository later that November. And the reason we did that was a pure business decision. We had it separated from day one, but we didn't have the listing since day one because we didn't want people. We wanted people to buy it when we released it. We didn't want people going straight to the free one and sticking with that. So we didn't release the free version to the public like that for another month or so after we launched it. Always planned that way.
Okay. Yeah, I am very curious on this point because I'm planning on doing the same thing for Link Whisper. That's been the plan, is to have a sort of free version that I can at least put on the repository. That's not built yet. And so I'm sort of thinking through the strategy there a little bit, hoping that obviously a certain percentage will find it there and then upgrade. Do you find, or have you noticed anything that works particularly well to encourage people to upgrade? Is there anything within the free version of the plugin that you're doing that you feel is working really well to get people to go for the premium version?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a couple best practices, not all a lot of the plugins that are on WordPress.org or they're made by developers. They're not business strategic people at all. They're just, it might be a passion project or something like that. So for you, it's going to be different. For me, it's different. So what you want to do is when someone activates your plugin, you want to have an onboarding sequence. So it immediately triggers into an onboarding where it says, hey, welcome to XYZ plugin. So for us, welcome to CartFlows. We just have a couple steps here and you're going to be off to the races. And then there will be several steps. But then one of those steps, you want to ask them for their email address, and you want that email address pumped into your CRM. And you can give them something in exchange for it. You can give them maybe a discount on the pro version, or I wouldn't even do that if I was you. If I was you, I would create in your case, I'd create a mini course on search engine optimization, leveraging your tool, or something along those lines. And you're basically in your free course. Now when they're on that step on the onboarding, hey, I've got this course. It's a $200 course or a $100 course, but I want to give it to you for free because I want you to get the most out of Link Whisper. And where it asks for the email, you can automatically have it pull in the email from that they have plugged into their website. So they don't even have to enter the email. They just have to click a button that says yes.
Nice.
And then you pass that into your CRM, and then you do whatever you do to get them access to the training, but have high quality training. And what that's going to do is that's going to accomplish a couple of things. They're going to get introduced to you. And that's where you have charm and charisma, and then you win them over to who you are and you acclimate them to you. But then they'll also get to see the power of the tool, and then you can also show them certain parts of the professional version, and that will get them seeing that, wow, I'm able to do this now, but for such a small amount of money, I'm going to be able to do this as well.
Right.
And so it's all about capturing their information and giving them something of value that can get them to trust you, because you're just some random person when you're there.
Yep.
So that's a great thing. But also what you would want to do is, with us, it's a little different. We didn't want CartFlows as we strategically did not want CartFlows to be perceived as an add-on plugin for WooCommerce. We wanted CartFlows to be its own product. And in the future, CartFlows will probably have its own checkout system, so you don't have to use WooCommerce. So we intentionally when you go to WordPress.org and you type WooCommerce, whatever, we're not going to come up. We didn't want to come up. But if you enter the word funnel, we're going to come up. If you know, things like that. That's what we wanted. But for a product like yours, it's totally different, right? You want someone to type SEO because people go there and just enter SEO, and you want yours to be on that first page there because people will. It's not like Google. People are going to scan, and they're going to see what goodies are there for free. That's free traffic for you, and SEO is such a big term. So what you would do is you would say SEO tool or on page SEO whatever by Link Whisper.
Yeah.
So basically, you're kind of getting some of your phrases up in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Optimize the titles and everything. Yeah.
Exactly. So a form building tool, they'll say WordPress form builder by for us, it's WordPress funnel builder by. You know, that's how you do it. It's just it's to benefit the person searching, right? Because you've made this great thing. It's your job to get it in front of them.
Yeah, these are great tips. I hope people listening in are enjoying this as much as I am, because this is very useful to me, at least. I can see that the free version, it shows active installations, 10,000 plus. So again, that's a huge number. I mean, over 10,000. Do you have any sense of how many people are converting from the free version to the premium version?
Actually, that's a fantastic question. And to answer it, I don't know. I really don't know. And here's the thing. I am not so obviously I want people to convert, right? To switch up. But there's benefit of people using it for free because it just makes the cream rise to the top, right?
Sure.
So that's why one of our goals early on was to have a extremely useful free version of our tool. And so a good amount of people could just use the free version and it totally meets their needs. And there's a benefit of that because here's the benefit. I'm getting an active installation, I'm winning a fan, and I'm potentially getting a written review. You're growing your social proof, right? So do you notice in the beginning of this interview when I started talking about CartFlows, what I say? First thing I said is almost on 20,000 websites, and it will be in a couple days, 20,000 websites.
Yeah.
That's social proof, right? Then you say, oh my gosh, this is good. One of my goals is by the end of next year to surpass whatever ClickFunnels claims their number is. If they say we got 100,000, I want to be 110,000. But it's actually possible. It's actually possible through the social proof of it. I don't actually have great numbers on that of the people that ended up upgrading. But I will say whenever someone asks for a demo of it or is there a trial or something like that, I say, you know what? We've got the free version right here. Here's a link to it. And then here's a comparison chart. And you can see what each has.
Yeah. No, and that's just fine. I think clearly it's working in your business. You're seeing a lot of success in the business. It's an excellent idea. So we're getting.
Well, let me tell you one thing. If you're considering doing this or anyone in the audience, the trick is that your professional version does not replace the free version because then you lose the active installation. You want your professional version to extend the free version, so your customer will have to have two plugins on their site. It doesn't add any weight versus compacting them into one, but the way it all works is you want the pro version to extend the free version. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does. So you want to keep all the active installations there, essentially.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah. Yep. No, that does make sense, and good tip, good clarification as well. We didn't even really have a chance to dive into YouTube tips and things
I got a ton of those.
That regard.
I got a ton of those, by the way. But anyways,
I know we could probably talk for hours just about YouTube. And so this question will probably be really hard because we need to condense it down. But just any either really great tips or just any general advice for somebody that's trying to start a YouTube channel and they want to grow their subscriber base. What should they be doing or thinking about? What's worked so well for you?
I'll give you 3 tips and I'll make them as quick as possible.
Okay.
Number 1, your content should solve a problem for someone that people are actively searching for. If you look on my channels, how to do this, how to do this, how to do that, solve a problem. Not all your videos, but your first batch of videos, like your first 100 videos, need to solve someone's problem. That's number one. Number two, you always got to ask them to subscribe.
Yes.
If you don't have a call to action to ask them to subscribe and click on that notification bell, they're just not going to think about it. They're not going to do it. You'll also want to ask them to click on the thumbs up and share the video out. You got to ask that stuff. Number three is actually two parts to it. Put your face on it. I am a big believer in putting your face on everything, and you have to be able to stick with creating videos to the point where you can be charming and charismatic in front of the camera. It does not come natural. You have to work at it. And there's actually a great YouTube channel called Charisma on Command. They've got like millions of subscribers. They have great content. You can learn to be charismatic. All of us have charisma in us, but we might not be so good at letting it come out of us. Mm-hmm. Learn how to be charismatic. If you can learn how to be charismatic, people are going to naturally be attracted to you. Do not be afraid to take a stance, have an opinion, because that's how you assert yourself as an authority. Well, I sound like one of those like old school like music songs where a guy just says advice after advice in a long song.
That's
you know
okay.
What I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like in the 80s.
Yeah. But for people listening in and are wanting to jump into YouTube, I mean, they can obviously check out what you're doing, but those specific tips that you've given can help guide them in that direction as well. I love what you're doing with YouTube and WPCrafter.com. It's become an amazing platform that now you can use to launch, obviously, CartFlows and additional software products and plugins that you're working on. It's just a great base to build a business off of. Now, is there anything else that's new that's in the works? Give you a last chance here to mention anything else outside of software maybe that you're working on here.
Yeah, so I have so many things I'm working on that are just so excited. I'm so excited about. I think the one that I'm most excited about, though, is transitioning into being an author. So next year, I've been working this year on a book that I'm releasing next year, and I'm very excited about this. And it's another good thing that I have a YouTube channel, because I'm going to be able to ask all the people that have supported me, hey, can you support me in this? Yeah. It's basically designed to bottle up. This book is going to bottle up all my passion for everybody. Just needs to have a website, needs to put themselves on the internet, needs to put themselves out there like that. It's just to get people really fired up to do that and see how it can change your life. It can flip it upside down just like it did me. I was before I put myself on YouTube with my actual face, I had to think hard about it. Do I want my face like this on the internet? Do I want me on the internet like that? And I guarantee you the success I have today and the lifestyle freedom that came with it would not have happened if I didn't do that. If I didn't make the decision, okay, I'm willing to put myself out there like this. And I did that. What good and bad comes, 99% of the people love you to death, and you got 1% of the people that hate your guts. Yeah. But it's okay. It's okay. If I didn't do that, I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in today, and it's a very blessed position to be in.
So when should we expect the book to come out, and is there a place people should go to, learn more about that?
Yeah, so I'll be dropping hints about that as this year progresses towards the end of the year. But I'm targeting the month of February for this to be released. I want to do it in the early half of the year. And if you're on the channel, I would actually encourage you guys to jump on this channel. You don't have to watch all the videos, but if you subscribe, you'll see what's going on. And there actually might be a video coming up on this great new product called Link Whisper that I've been personally using. That actually just might happen, a really good tutorial on how you can leverage that. But who knows? But anyone can go to youtube.com/Link Whisper. And you know what? It would be bad if I didn't say to the anyone listening how me and Spencer met. I was on his website. Actually, I don't know if I told you this. I've been following your website for probably 2 years, and I do not know how I found it in the first place, but I've been following it for 2 years in RSS Reader. And when I saw something about Link Whisperer, I immediately knew I needed to have it. I'd never spoken to Spencer before, and I left a comment. I said, hey, my name's Adam. You could check me out here. Get in touch with me about this product. I think it's really cool. And that's how it started.
Yep, it is. And that's just another encouragement for people to kind of put themselves out there, because you and I never would have connected if I didn't have a blog, if I hadn't been putting myself out there for, a number of years like I have. There's just no way we would have found each other, right? And so things like that happen all the time. So what you're doing with your YouTube channel, your WP Crafter brand, what I'm doing with my blog, and what other people, I agree with the premise of your book that people should be putting themselves out there so that they can enjoy sort of the entrepreneurial lifestyle businesses that we are both able to enjoy as well. So, and then just finally, where would you like people to go if they want to stay in touch with you, or any other place that you'd like people to go and check out?
Yeah, so I want to invite everyone to my YouTube channel, and on Fridays I have live streams. You can ask me questions if they ever had a burning question about WordPress marketing or anything like that. You can ask me there. Go to youtube.com/WPCrafter, and it's going to take you straight to my channel. You can subscribe and click on the notification bell. I'm also very active on Facebook, and I have a Facebook group where I'm interacting with people every single day. So you can just go to Facebook and do a search for WP Crafter. You're going to see the page, and you're going to see the Facebook group. I'd love to have you in the group. It's a great community of people that are together helping each other out. And of course, my website is WPCrafter.com, and I got a little search box on the top right. You can search for anything, and it will pull up the results. I've got over 500 videos for you, and I've been heavily getting into content, as written content, inspired by you, Spencer.
Wow, awesome. Very good. So people can check that out and follow along with what you're doing. Adam, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me. All
right. Thanks a lot. Thank you once again for listening to the Niche Pursuits podcast. As a reminder, this episode has been sponsored by Ezoic. Ezoic is a Google award-winning technology that everyone from niche website owners to major brands use to grow and monetize their websites. Ezoic is a Google certified publishing partner. It's a platform that leverages artificial intelligence to help you optimize revenue and monetization on a per visitor basis, and so much more. If you want to check out Ezoic, go to nichepursuits.com/Ezoic. Again, that's nichepursuits.com/Ezoic. Thanks a lot.